today I'm going to be explaining what is eutrophication. So the clear just definition of it is the process by which nutrients, particularly phosphorus and nitrogen, become highly concentrated in a body of water, leading to an increase of growth in organisms such as algae. So next I'm going to just be going over the 6 steps in which eutrophication occurs. So beginning with the first step, so eutrophication basically begins with fertilizers from either farms or lawns begin washing off into a big body of water in which all the process begins. The second step, the nutrients help develop the plant growth. So from the runoff from the fertilizers, this helps quickly with the growth of the plants, but also with the algae. With the third step, since the algae begins to bloom, it begins a high level of nutrients in the water, and the algae begins to grow very fast, and it begins to lead to an overgrowth of algae, which is also known as algal blooms. In the fourth step, the algae begin to die because of the overgrowth, and algae doesn't live as long as well. So they basically begin to die and decompose. And with the fifth step, the decomposition of algae increases the biological oxygen demand. So with the decomposition of the algae, it basically causes a lot of use of oxygen, and it removes a lot of the oxygen from the water itself because there's a lot of decomposition happening of the algae. And with the last step, the fish and a lot of the aquatic life begin to die because without the oxygen in the water, a lot of the aquatic life forms such as fish cannot survive.
There are 2 classes of pollution, which are identified by how they are delivered to the water. One is point source pollution and the other is non-point source pollution. Point source pollution is water pollution whose discharge source can be clearly identified, meaning that you can point to the source. Some examples are pipes of wastewater treatment plants or industrial sites. Non-point source pollution, though some arrive by air, most enter the water from overland flow, like stormwater runoff. This means that they can come from any part of the land that drains into a given body of water. They are not easy to identify. Some examples are open mines, cropland and animal pasture, and construction sites.
The Clean Water Act was a law enacted in the United States in 1972. It aimed to make waters safe for both fishing and swimming. It controlled what pollutants and substances could be released into water sources. These sources include lakes, rivers, streams, and wetlands. This act controlled point source pollution because it directly regulated what could be released into water. Despite the benefits this act gave in protecting water in the United States, the current administration has begun cutting parts of the Clean Water Act. They repealed the Clean Water Rule, which means that getting a permit is as easy as it was before the act was created. The administration continues to try and break down this law, which protects all of us every single day. It is crucial that the Clean Water Act stay in place and that its definitions defined when it was enacted also stay in place. The administration is currently trying to make loopholes around the definitions, which is causing more waters to be polluted. The Clean Water Act has served as a protection to the United States water sources for so many years, and it is important that we as citizens fight to control that and keep that in place.